Hey, I'm Jim Bucher.
And I'm Michelle Kingsfield. Welcome to another episode of Meet Your Hometown Attorneys. You'll learn about the Dayton area's largest and most successful personal injury law firm, Dyer, Garofalo, Mann Schultz.
And we'll meet some of the attorneys and also hear stories from the clients who have been helped by the firm.
So stay with us for the next 30 minutes and meet your hometown attorneys. Welcome to the latest edition of Meet Your Hometown Attorneys. And of course, I am here with the co-founders of Dyer, Garofalo, Mann Schultz, Mike Dyer and Doug Mann. Always a pleasure. So great to see you all.
Yes,
you
nice
too.
to see you.
So first of all, we always talk about Dyer, Garofalo, Mann Schultz. So many people know that you are the personal injury lawyers, among other things that you do with your law firm. But the bottom line is that not a lot of people really know the Mike Dyer and the Doug Mann. And so I kind of wanted to just start by learning a little bit more about you so our viewers can then understand the wonderful people that you are, but also that it's not just your job that makes you, who you are, but it is so much about what you do outside of your job and in addition to your job. So first of all, what I wanted to just say is there's an organization that you guys have been involved in, and I'm sure people might have seen it on the news throughout the years, and it is called FLOC, which stands for the Love of Children. So first of all, can you tell me how you got involved with FLOC?
Well, Doug and I, when we started the law firm, one of the things we said is this community has been so good to us, it's imperative that we give back. And as we started our practices and saw children that were injured, we knew that the charities that we wanted to support were children's charities. And there was a very small one 22 years ago called For the Love of Children, which they focused on making sure every foster child received at least one present at Christmas time. And Doug came to me with that charity, and from there it went on.
Advertisements trying to build the awareness and have people donate toys, and it was up to Children's Services. And so we became involved, and it was just giving toys and helping out, but then we wanted to be more involved, and we saw through the years that it grew and grew and grew, and now this past year, Mike, it wasn't just raising money and raising awareness, it was Mike and I unloading trucks, believe it or not, stacking shelves, and we serviced over 1,500 kids this year that never would have had Christmas. So it's a great feeling. It's the community giving back to the community, and we're proud to be part of that.
And it's not just us, it's our entire law firm. It's really neat to see the paralegals, the secretaries, the people in the mailroom, every person from the office manager to the mailroom people jump in and help. And like we said, this year we actually help children shop, and just seeing the tears in their eyes and all that was just a really neat feeling.
It's a great thing, and we're proud to be part of that. And what we've also seen over the years is FLOC has grown not just from this Christmas program, but it's got 11 different programs, and we've been part of all those too. And it's helping kids with tutoring, with young moms, with a boutique that's downtown where kids can get dresses and go to proms, and these are the kids that wouldn't be able to do that. So it's just spreading cheer all year, and the board of FLOC is just wonderful people that it's 100% volunteer. No one's getting paid on this, and everybody's giving their all, including my wife's doing 40 hours a week just running this thing, and it's just really great.
It is a cool charity. It's when you see a charity that 100% of the dollars go to the charity, and it has 11 programs that really help kids, you know you're doing something right.
Well, obviously, that is so true. But also, not only are you guys doing something right by just showing and having the other people in your law firm, because I was speaking with them this morning, they're saying, they bring truckloads of shoes and things for kids. And this
mittens and scarves and coats. And it's,
yes.
I mean, so it's many charities in one, because we think of something like the United Way that then gives to all these other charities. And that's exactly what you're doing, and that's what it's about, is helping the people in the community that you serve, but also where you live. And it's not just what you're doing, but you're setting that precedent, and you're getting other people involved and passionate about giving back. And that's so much about what life is. So it's just fabulous to hear all of that.
And we're, again, proud to be part of it, and we're proud to be part of this community. And like Mike said, giving back to it is very important to us.
And not only us, there were hundreds of companies that stepped to the plate this year and did things and sent people to help. This was a real community effort.
Fantastic. We're going to talk to you a little bit more later.
Great.
Thanks so much. Coming up next on Meet Your Hometown Attorneys, we're going to hear from the mother of a very satisfied client who was injured in a devastating accident and got the help of Dyer, Garofalo, Mann Schultz about workman's comp.
My firm has been rated as one of the top personal injury law firms in America. We've helped thousands of injured people, and I'm proud to say our clients give us a 97% satisfaction rating. They're proof a tough, smart attorney makes all the difference. If you or a family member are injured, let us prove it to you.
Hi, I want to welcome you back to Meet Your Hometown Attorneys, and joining me now, Gerald Parker, who is with the law firm, and also Tammy Whitmore, who is a satisfied client or the mother of a client. And so we always talk about personal injury, and this time that's not one of the things that we are talking about. We're talking about workman's compensation. And so I guess we want to start with you, Tammy. You're here kind of representing your son, Curtis. Can you tell us how you became involved with Dyer, Garofalo, Mann Schultz?
I became involved with Dyer, Garofalo, Mann Schultz on July 8th of last year. My son was working as a tree climber and was in a horrific accident, was involved with high voltage power lines, was care flighted to Miami Valley. He had 3rd and 4th degree burns over 40% of his body. For the first 72 hours, we were not sure that he would live or die. It was very, very difficult, agonizing. After about 72 hours, he was going to live. Very strong man, very determined man. And it was at that point we realized as the family that the employer that he worked for had no workers' compensation insurance. He was not forthcoming with any liability insurance. And of course there was no medical insurance. And we were looking at Curtis being in the hospital for a minimum of about 3 to 4 months.
Wow.
And it was at that point I made the call and we met Gerald. He came to the hospital, worked with us many, many hours, always returned phone calls and worked with the BWC, and was just amazing, amazing what they have been able to do for my son.
Can you jump in there now, Gerald? Because also we were talking, how old is your son at the time? He was 29, 30?
29, 30 years old, yes ma'am.
Okay, so tell me how you got involved and once you had that relationship going.
Well, obviously due to the nature of the injuries and the cases like these, I wanted to make sure that I went out to give the support first, the representation aside. I was there to check on the well-being of a guy who's about the same age, same understanding of where we are in life, and a guy who has a bright future and was thinking he had a bright future, and he still does at this time. So we wanted to develop that relationship, went out to the hospital, met his mother, who's also strong and very determined, and she's been the driving force behind this entire situation. But got a chance to meet Curtis, got a chance to know Curtis and Tammy, and it's developed more into almost a family, to the point where I want to do anything I can to help them out.
And we hear about that so much with Dyer, Garofalo, Mann Schultz. It's not just Gerald, but so many people that I've interviewed, so many people with the law firm. That is what it's about. It's about creating these relationships first and just being a caring human being. So tell me how being involved with them and finally how they helped make, your son's life the best it can be given this situation now.
The challenge with this particular case was the verifiableness of an income, and that was extremely challenging to get completed through the Bureau of Workers' Compensation. Gerald worked endlessly to be able to get that, and also because of the amputation, there was an opportunity for an award to be made in that, and that's been able to get completed, and so he'll be able to have an income while he recovers and becomes stronger, and that's very, very important.
And that's great. And we just want to point out to our viewers as well that he did have part of his leg amputated, but now has a prosthesis and
Correct.
has what he needs to live that full, healthy,
Yes,
fun
he
life.
does. He does.
Fantastic. Thank you both. Thank you so much for sharing, Tammy.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Well, coming up next, Jim Bucher is going to talk to the Dyer, Garofalo, Mann Schultz woman who does all of that community calendar stuff, and he's also going to share some of those things that we do as well.
You know me, and you know my law firm. My family's from Dayton, Ohio, and I come from a long line of hardworking family members, and now my firm is proud to represent injured workers' rights. Let my firm level the playing field and protect you and your family's future. Call us today at 1-800-INJURED and let us fight for you.
Hey, welcome back to Meet Your Hometown Attorneys, and joining us now is Jenna Rigg, who I'm told, Mike Dyer told me this. Actually, I think Doug did too. You are the social media queen of Dyer, Garofalo, Mann Schultz. Is that true?
Coordinator.
I thought it was queen. They told me they were pulling my leg again. But hey, talk a little bit about that, the website and ohiotiger.com. What do you do on there? What can people see and check out when they're on the website?
Well, our website is one of the easiest ways to get in contact with us. If you go to ohiotiger.com, you'll be able to see everything from our attorney profiles to any of the practice areas that we have. You can go on and talk about a question that you have about a possible case. So there's numerous ways to get in contact with us.
So you have like live operators on there, so you can ask a question right away, right, and get an answer.
Right.
Oh,
live chat operators are there 24 hours a day.
So people can ask a question about any legal matter and go that route. That's
Yes.
kind of cool. So you're constantly updating the website.
Right. We always have updates based on the cases that we're taking or new content. We also do blogs there, just informational things about what's going on in the area.
And I bet things change, what, by the minute almost. I mean, with law out there, I'm sure it does, right?
We do weekly updates to the website, so there's always something new being posted.
Well, that's kind of cool. So it's one-stop shopping. You get on there, you can look for attorneys, you can ask a question about anything, and they'll get right back to you. Exactly. All right, let's move on a little bit. And you also do Facebook and Twitter and all that, but we'll get into that on another show.
Okay.
But let's talk about the Tiger Safety Calendar. Now, this is cool. Like I said in one of the previous shows, I have this on my refrigerator because it coordinates our lives through the day, me and my two kids. I kid you not. I should have brought a picture and we could have run it, but shown it. But I do have the calendar. But talk about this. This is the third year.
Yes.
And then how did this all start? Take us back 3 years ago. How did it all begin?
Well, we wanted a way to get involved with the community for safety advocacy, and this just seemed ideal. We love supporting arts programs, so we thought, why not do a calendar contest? We can send it out to all the local schools, and it's just grown exponentially every year. We have so many submissions that are coming in, and it's a great way to reach out to the community.
Cool. And Michelle is right over there with one of the winners of the calendar contest. Take it away, Michelle.
Thanks so much, Book. I am here with one of our winners, Solange, and her fantastic teacher, Matthew Clark from Trotwood Medicine. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the fun part of the show that I love, to talk about the Tiger Safety Calendar. And first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
For becoming a winner. It's fantastic. So first of all, I want to talk about, how did you get involved? Was it you that got involved with this and went to Solange?
Actually, I received the information in the mail. Just an envelope came in my mailbox, and I thought it was a great idea. I chose Solange simply because she's an exceptional student, and she's the only student I chose for this project simply because I knew she'd win. I mean, I didn't need any other student but her, and then I handed it over to her.
Fantastic. So that has to make you feel good, Solange.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So when he came to you, when Mr. Clark came to you, what did you think?
I was just thinking, because this is my first contest, I was like, okay, I've got to figure out something, just trying to wrap around ideas, because the ideas started right then.
And so let's just take a really quick look, because I absolutely love what you did here, because there's a lot of things going on. Obviously, we have to have the tiger, but there's a lot of messages that you had in your drawing. So can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah, I did Don't Text and Drive, because that's a problem that a lot of people are going through. It's just something people do, and I wanted to get that message across in the drawing, and I just decided to do it in the car with the girl, and she's kind of like looking over like, and so, and I did the dice thing, because, you know, fuzzy dice, everyone loves fuzzy dice.
That's right.
So, yeah, it just kind of came.
And this is a big issue, texting and driving. I'm sure you hear about it all the time, right?
Yeah.
And you will never be doing that, correct?
No.
That's right. So when you saw her picture, what did you think, Matthew?
I mean, the final product is amazing. We worked on it for about 2 weeks. I sent her back. I think she got really annoyed with me a few times, but she came back to me and she thought it was done, and I sent it back. But Solange really challenges me, and I love to be challenged by a student. And every day she challenges me. She just gets better and better, and she's fantastic.
Well, congratulations to you both for going to Solange and for you doing this wonderful product. We appreciate it. It was so great to meet you both. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, my pleasure. So coming up, we will be talking about the key points that you will need to know when filing a workers' compensation claim.
Recently, an injured client brought this pile of letters to my office. Books, brochures, DVDs, these were all sent to one client. We're always surprised at the lengths out-of-town law firms will go to trying to make you think they're from our hometown. Don't fall for it. Call us. We're your hometown law firm.
We want to welcome you back to Meet Your Hometown Attorneys. And joining me now, Mike Dyer and Genevieve Campbell, one of the newest lawyers to join the firm. And you all are one of the biggest, or actually the fastest growing workers' comp firms in the state of Ohio.
Yeah, that's what I hear, Michelle. I hear we're very fast growing, and the fact is that we're proud of what we're doing. We started this practice about 3 years ago, and we have really taken off. It's nice to hire someone who was on the other side. She worked for many years representing companies against injured people, so she knows all their tricks. I probably know that Doug Mann once was an adjuster, so we've made a decision to start hire people from the beginning that have had experience on the other side, and it really helps. She's doing a great job for her injured clients now.
So tell us how it's been. You've only been there for a few months, but gosh, it's been extremely busy for you, Genevieve.
Yeah, I've been there for about 4 months now, and it's been a great transition. Honestly, I've really enjoyed coming to help represent injured workers. It's good to have the background that I've had. I worked 6 years defending companies, doing defensive workers' comp work, and now I know, as Mike said, I know all the tricks, and I know what my clients are going to be up against as far as these bigger employers and smaller employers are concerned.
And I'm sure that is something that when someone calls and talks to you, that's what they want to hear. I mean, that's what I would want to hear.
Oh, definitely. Workers' comp can be a very convoluted and confusing experience, especially for the injured worker. And I think they just sometimes need their hand held at the very least. And sometimes you're going against a company that really has invested interest in having your claim denied. So good representation is a must in the workers' comp world.
And so tell us about the experience that you bring, not just from the other side, but just also from experience in the cases that you've done prior to this.
I did defensive work for the past 6 years, so I've seen everything from small contusion type cases to cases where somebody, gets cut at a garbage dump site and ends up losing all 4 limbs because of MRSA. So I've had a lot of practice dealing with, at the administrative level of workers' compensation, attending hearings around the state of Ohio, and I've gotten to know a lot of the hearing officers and know what to expect when I'm about to walk into a hearing. So I think that's very helpful.
Absolutely. And we talk a lot when we do these programs about Mike and Doug and all of the outside relationships that they then build. I mean, it has to bring something home for you when you get to do, help these people from the other side, but also just for yourself. I mean, how does that affect you when you go home at night?
It's definitely, it's different to have a vested interest in what your clients care about. It's one thing to be watching the bottom line for a company. It's a different experience entirely when a person has their entire life affected by an injury and you're kind of in charge of making sure that they get the care and everything that they need.
And so that's the kind of lawyer that they need, someone who's determined and understands, and that is so much about what we talk about in these programs quite often.
And that is the philosophy of our firm, take care of the client.
That's right, and you guys do it so well. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure meeting you, Genevieve.
Nice to meet you.
Always good to see you again,
Nice to see
Mike.
you well, Michelle. Very good job.
Well, coming up, we will speak with Doug Mann again, and also TUE's B-Man. Yeah, B-Man. I'm sure you've probably seen him on those commercials. We'll be talking about what you may not know about motorcycle insurance.
If you're injured on the job or applying for Social Security benefits, you have the right to a lawyer. the right to a hearing, and the right to an appeal. If you need help with your claim, call 1-800-INJURED and get the Tiger on your side.
Well, welcome back to Meet Your Hometown Attorneys, and special guest here today, B-Man, along with D-Man,
Okay.
Doug
Good to be
Mann,
here.
and B-Man.
How you
There
doing,
you
Mike?
go.
Man, it's good to see
Nice
you.
to
This
see
is
you
a
again.
little lighter side of it all, but just a weird combination here, not what we would expect on this
It's
show.
actually very natural, the reason we met and how we got together. And this guy's been famous for 30 years, and we know about him, and he's a big motorcyclist, so we represent a lot of injured motorcyclists, and somehow or another we started talking and we became friends. So
We're both part of the Man Club.
that's right. That's right. Thank you.
Yeah, I had a chance to go and meet the guys at the office one day, and I was just so impressed with them, and we got into a big discussion of motorcycling, and they actually taught me a lot of things that I didn't know about motorcycles and insurance and making sure you have enough insurance. We kind of hit it off, really have.
So what did you learn?
I learned that I wasn't adequately covered, I think, at the time.
Did you change that, by the way?
It has been changed.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
good.
it's a tip from them.
We all learn.
And because when you're riding a motorcycle, you want to have fun, and sometimes you tend to not pay attention to everything that's going on. And if you don't have the right insurance, you're not covered, there's a lot of tension. And if something happens, you want to know that you're covered, and it's kind of peace of mind, because you're out riding in the wind, and if you don't have that peace of mind.
And most of the time, it's not the motorcyclist's fault. It's somebody pulls out in front of them, and these poor people that get hurt, badly injured, and we've represented them over 25 years now. So it's that's why we started doing promotions together and kind of tiger safety, motorcycle safety, and handing out lots of B-Man, D-Man t-shirts.
Oh, which were a hit this past summer.
And I
Did you get one of those?
I'm proud to own one.
Excellent,
Yes.
excellent.
Well, and it's kind of like I'm on retainer for them, you know. But I enjoy working with them, and I was just so impressed with everything that goes on there. And it's not just Doug and the folks you see on TV. It's all the people that work behind the scenes, and it's really impressive. And when you're dealing with a lawyer, especially, I mean, if you have a motorcycle accident and there's serious injuries or something, the last thing you want to worry about is making sure you're taken care of, and they make you feel at ease, which is real important. And
thank you.
And I love the guys. You know,
he's a
we have
great guy
lot of
too.
fun together. Yeah.
And so this whole entire time we've been talking throughout this show too about just they're real people.
Yeah.
I mean, we see him on TV and we know he's the Tiger and all of those things, but everyone in this law firm, they're real folks. I mean, they're out in the community just like you. You're on the radio. People think that you're not the normal type of guy.
Well, we both collect a lot of paraphernalia, music paraphernalia, and we have a lot in common. And people, whether I have a mechanic in the family, I have a physician in the family, and you have a lot of people that you know and trust. You don't have to worry about that. And a lot of times, people have the perception of lawyers sometimes. They don't know who to trust. And I can speak from experience that I trust these guys. And if you feel comfortable, then everything else is going to work out for you.
And you've called us with some questions here and there. We've been able to help them out, and so it's a really good bonding relationship.
And there are a lot of questions about motorcycling and stuff.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
and they
no
can
doubt.
answer anything you need to know.
Fantastic.
Thanks.
D-Man, B-Man.
I know.
Pleasure.
Good to be here.
It's really nice.
All right.
Man, it's a pleasure.
Yeah.
Michelle, it's good to see you.
Yeah, nice
You
to see you.
too. Take care. And stay right there. We have more of Meet Your Hometown Attorneys coming up right after this.
If you ride, you probably know a lot about your motorcycle.
But when it comes to your accident case, there's a lot you may not know. For over 25 years, my law firm has protected the rights of motorcycle riders. Don't fight the insurance company on your own. Let us fight for you.
Hey, welcome back to Meet Your Hometown Attorneys, and we have one of our super attorneys here, right? Do you have the S,
Well,
Pierre? Do you not have the S, but you pulled the thing?
If I showed you, I'd have to kill you, Jim.
Pierre Tisco. Now, first of all, tell the folks at home what you do for Dyer, Garofalo, Mann Schultz.
Well, I'm proud to say that I'm the litigation managing partner for Dyer, Garofalo, Mann Schultz. It's my 9th year after being a prosecutor in Chicago for 7 and then being a part of my own little firm in Cincinnati for 7 years.
So you've been around. You've been around. So now let me ask you this. So I'm looking for a firm. I'm looking for a lawyer, somebody to represent me. Why pick Dyer, Garofalo, Mann Schultz? What makes you guys different? Why?
Well, you know, Mike and Doug actually courted me for quite a long time. So we kind of have a history. We go back to, probably late 1980s. And I went off and did my own thing, and then I watched them blossom into this powerhouse law firm, really in the Midwest. Yeah. And, You know, really it starts at the top, like any organization. And I think what makes us difference makers are Mike and Doug. You know, they're the founding partners of this law firm. They've been doing this now for 20-some years. And what's really amazing about them is they find time during their day to actually still touch clients. And I mean that literally, touch clients. We have many clients that want to come in and see them, take pictures. And Mike and Doug are great at making them feel comfortable in a horrible situation. But really their genius is, you know, Mike's business sense and Doug's sense with people are just a great mix. And they make people feel really like a family-oriented business. And, you know, they take pride in it being a Dayton-based law firm. We've had opportunities like other firms to leave downtown Dayton, and Mike and Doug refuse to leave downtown Dayton because this is where we're from. So it starts at the top, and it also, we have 2 strong managers, and these managers run the ship. Brenda Brown runs the operations part of it. Sherry Richardson handles all administrative and just really makes the thing go. And that, I think, in my experience, having been in a 900 attorney law firm, which was the prosecutor's office in Chicago, and like I said, a small firm in Cincinnati, I've seen the differences and when you can make something really work, especially in the law. I mean, it's hard. These, you know, we're not, you know, the law is always changing, and defense lawyers are fighting tooth and nail, but, you know, they have the magic touch. And we have 14 offices, probably an hour north, an hour east, an hour south, even west in Richmond, Indiana. You know, just the little things that Mike and Doug thought of, like cars to drive people to medical appointments. Amen. You have no idea the goodwill that creates with people who, you know, they're anxious. They don't want to get back in a car again. Heck, they just got rear-ended and injured by a car.
Nobody wants to do that.
And, you know, we have great people who drive them around to those to really, again, help comfort them. So really the genius in our firm is Mike and Doug, and I challenge other firms really across the country to have 2 guys like that who really care about their clients. And many times we've been in difficult circumstances, and Mike and Doug will say, you know what, let's do more for them. Because we want to, you know, we're in the business of helping people. And, you know, and sometimes in this world where the bottom line means a lot, you know, you'll be hard-pressed to find 2 better people than Mike and Doug leading an organization.
The founding fathers.
The founding fathers.
Pierre, thanks very much. Good seeing you.
All right, good to see you, Jim.
Fight. All right, we'll have more Meet Your Hometown Attorneys right after this.
Before you hire an attorney, get the facts. Ask these questions. Do they have a real local office? Will you see an actual attorney? Are they one of the top-rated law firms in the nation? If you've been injured, you need the Tiger on your side. Contact us today.
Thanks so much for joining us on this episode of Meet Your Hometown Attorney.
We hope you've learned a lot about how Dyer, Garofalo, Mann Schultz helps clients to get every dollar they deserve. And we hope you never need a personal injury attorney.
No, but if you do, be sure to contact Dyer, Garofalo, Mann Schultz. And to learn more about the firm, or if you need an attorney, just go to ohiotiger.com or call 1-800-INJURED.